Well, I want to be able to experience the forests for the rest of my life, and I don't want my generation to be the one that sees this forest die.
Jarrah Forests are some of the most beautiful forests on earth, and they have an incredibly high degree of endemism, which means that a huge number of the plants and animals and fungi that exist here exist nowhere else on earth. They're just absolutely stunning and timeless, and they're home to so many different creatures that we love, like the black cockatoos and quokkas and numbats and chuditch and woylies and so many different creatures and incredible plants and fungi, and they've also been really severely degraded over the last 100 years or so. So the patches that are left are incredibly special and so deeply loved.
We're here in the Northern Jarrah Forests, and this area behind me here is proposed for exploration by Rio Tinto.
The amazing biodiversity in every season of the year. You just look within a few square metres and you can see 10 different species of plants or even orchids. You would see several different orchids within a very short space, and it's just that ever-changing diversity within the forest and the light from morning till sunset.
What we're looking at here is Mount Solace and the mining that Alcoa is doing, and they've come all the way up from Dwellingup when they started in the late 70s. They're now here almost pretty much at the Serpentine River, which is at the base of this big hill here, Mount Solace, one of the highest peaks in the Darling Range. And their next moves, they are proposing an expansion into this area here. And this is the area of forest that Jarrahdale Forest Protectors are arguing to be protected, as well as other groups, of course.
We want Alcoa to stop mining. They shouldn't be here, they should never have been here, and they've operated under this cloud of secrecy for 60 years. It's now being exposed. We know the regulators aren't managing to regulate them. They're just destroying the very best parts of our forest. They say they've got this huge lease they're not touching, but that's because there's no good bauxite there. This is where they want it. It grows where the jarrah grows. And the best jarrah grows on the best bauxite. So the PER, which is coming up probably at the end of next year, that has to be advised to the Minister, and the government, I presume, will have the strength of character to say, right, that's it, end of Alcoa, that's what we want.
Well, I want to see a network of really properly, formally protected national parks and other protected areas across the Northern Jarrah Forest, so that we know that those areas are going to be fully and formally protected into the future. And then I also think that it's really important that we put a serious amount of energy and resources into a restoration program, so that we can start reconnecting areas of habitat to provide for this region's resilience and ongoing ecological integrity into the future.
The Jarrah Forest is an incredible place. Many of the species found here are found nowhere else in Earth. When you stand in this greenery, it's absolutely incredible. 3 of the species that stand out amongst everything else are the black cockatoos, and all 3 are threatened with extinction. Not far away, mining is happening at a colossal rate, and scientists from around the world say that climate change is also threatening the entire ecosystem. The whole thing could absolutely collapse. It's clear that we have to stop the mining and act on climate change to save the black cockatoos and to save ourselves.
Ending native forest logging has been really significant. That was 6,500 hectares every single year being logged. But we've still got 1,000 hectares every single year being cleared for mining, mostly by bauxite, also by gold. So what we need to do now is we need the EPA to accept our referrals and provide a full environmental assessment of Alcoa's plans for clearing and mining. Then we need Rio Tinto and Telupac's massive exploration applications to be rejected so that we don't have additional major mining happening in these areas. We need the state government to scrap the appalling special state agreement acts that both Alcoa and South32 were granted many decades ago. And then, once we're in that situation, we need those new national parks and other protected areas to be created right across this incredible region so that we know that they're going to be protected into the long term.